Martin Luther King, the man who had a dream of love, unity, and peace amongst all races, a former civil rights activist fighting for the rights of his people, and who was eventually assassinated on April 4th of 1968. But to this very day, the question still remains, who killed Martin Luther King Jr.? Some say James Earl Ray, others Henry Clark Wilson, some others the Masons, and the rest in shock and frustration of what they believe to be an average 1960s hate crime. But to know who, let's take a look at why. What are the ulterior motives in killing this famous peaceful man? Was there a higher power involved? Pens, paper, minds on. Here on The Great Fez. This your boy Hannibal Hood, stealing the knowledge from the elite and taking it to the moors. The judgment has arrived. We gon' take it to the moors. 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 Gon' take it to the moors.
It's the Great Fez Show. It's the Great Fez Show. It's the Great Fez Show. It's the Great Fez Show.
Peace, love, and unity. This your brother and son of mothers, Hannibal Harube L, wishing you all truth, love, peace, freedom, and justice. Video purpose: to uncover Martin Luther King's great "I Have a Dream" speech, which led to his unfortunate death, and to uncover who assassinated him. Fast talk. Martin Luther King was a 33rd level degree Mason introduced into the area of occult when he attended Morehouse University. His purpose as an agent was to mislead his people into their own physical demise and destruction. However, due to his own righteous conscience and loving heart, not only for his people, but all people to be in harmony, he broke his Masonic oath, thus sharing the light instead of keeping the light, which led to his unfortunate demise. Slow it down. It has been greatly debated as to whether Martin Luther King was a Mason before or after his devastating death. However, due to his vast occult knowledge and Masonic gestures, it becomes obvious that in fact he was. When uncovering his speeches and sermons, one should notice the great level of knowledge King had. Not to mention other cult members who have stated he was themselves. Let's dive, and you decide.
Hey, okay, here we go. Open up that Google browser, because if you don't use Google, you must have issues in your head. Okay, there we go. And that is not advertising, that's just true, because Google is the best browser out there. You may think otherwise, but I may think something is wrong with you. But who am I to judge? This is my sad attempt for jokes. Okay, go to Google, put in "I have a dream" speech.gov. You get archives.gov, and you're going to click on that link.
If you got another speech that you prefer, use that, but I like hardcore evidence. Some type of reference.
Okay,
New Google browser, we are going to use Google, and you are going to put "I've been to the mountaintop.gov." And then you are going to go down, because those possibly suck. You have Wayne.edu. I don't know where Wayne.edu is. I don't know if that's Wayne State. Who knows? In this case, who cares? Okay. So now we have the two that got him killed. This one was like the icing on the cake. the icing on the cake. That wasn't funny at all, but I just laughed. Okay, so second paragraph in. This is paragraph 1. That's just paragraph 2. And I must talk funny and weird and be all over the place so you continue to listen. Now, here we go. 100. For those of you who don't know, we're here. Okay?
100 years later, the Negros is still languished in the corners of American society and finds himself in exile in his own land.
That was like strike 1 because he just kind of let the ball out. Like, we are going to break that down first and then we'll get into part 2. So what we need is either a dictionary, which I'm not going to do, but you should do it to prove that you're smart. But for those of you that are lazy like me, since we have the ability to be lazy right now, we are going to use Google for all of our stuff. So he says 100 years later, the Negro. We know Negroes are black people. Not saying that what you call dark-skinned people and people with obvious melanin, because everybody has melanin, just some people have more than others. But, okay, Negro, black people, the crayon people, is still languished in the corners of American society. American society is not in Africa, for all you pro-blackers out there, because I'm not friendly of the ignorance. This isn't to attack you. This is to be honest.
Wake up. They in your face. So we gonna get it in because we taking the occult knowledge and we giving it to the people where it belongs.
Okay, I don't like Shriners. Though I'm pretty cool with some of them, I ain't gonna lie. But I just think that's unfair. But back on subject.
American society, talking about America, obviously, and finds himself. This is obviously occult talk right there. This is how you know he was a sharp dude, because himself means that it's a male, and males. I'm in trouble. Okay. Okay. That threw me off. Okay, males himself came from herself. So it's safe to say that he's referring to both because men can't appear without women. Now, if he said women, we could assume you're just talking about women because women give birth to men, but men don't give birth to women, if that make any sense. So, saying himself as reference to both man and woman. In exile, okay, so let's take a look at the word exile. Because, see, if we gonna read people's stuff and make assumptions, we ought to know what these words mean. So let's take a look. Exile, according to Google, the state of being barred from one's native country, typically for political reasons in this case. As a verb, it is expel and bar someone from their native country, typically for political reasons. Now, keyword in exile, you can't be exiled unless you are native to the land. Now let's take a look at what native means. Now, of course, these sometimes may be connotations, and we're going to get into that because most of you don't know what a connotation is, which means people can get over on you because you don't want to be stupid, because stupid means people can get over on you. That's why people are down there paying tickets 24/7 and having issues, because we all started out stupid. Now, here we go. We're going to get on the adjective, because some of the stuff, who cares? Okay. Go to 1 here in the adjective, low dot. Of the indigenous inhabitants of a place. Indigenous inhabitants, okay? This is a ceremony of native dance from Fiji. That's just a little description, kind of give you an idea. Then synonyms. Who knows what synonyms are? For those of you that do, and you sitting there all happy, smiling, good for you. For those that don't, you ought to read more, because we going to get you together, because we going to get you to our level now. Okay. Synonyms. indigenous. Basically different words that have the same meaning. Indigenous, original, first, earliest, aboriginal, autonomous, and also the native peoples. The opposite, or antonym, who knows what antonym means? For those of you that sitting there smiling with your hand up, saying, hey, I know what antonym means, good for you. But we won't know that you knew what it meant, so it's okay. For those of you that don't, you better crack open a book. Antonyms mean words that are the opposite in definition, or words with the opposite definition of the word you're looking at. So, the opposite of somebody who's native or indigenous or first or earliest or aboriginal or autonomous or the native peoples would be an immigrant. And we know immigrants come from other places. There's some illegal immigrants coming over here taking all of the jobs. I seen a so-called African person from actual Africa, in Nigeria, talking about some. No, actually, they were from South Africa somewhere. Talking about some. Those Mexicans are coming up here stealing all of our jobs. And I was like, Negro, like
Africa, they American. No offense, I'm at to bleep that word out, but yeah, it's like you ain't from America. You from Africa. You East Mexican. We're West Mexican. Now, immigrant, a person who comes to live permanently in a foreign country as a name from there. So Trump is an immigrant, okay? Muhammad Ali is indigenous. Now that we know what exile means, and we know that you can't be exiled without being a native, let's finish. In his own land. Now we know his came from hers,
which means it's both of their land. So it's safe to read this and understand that he's saying 100 years later, the dark-skinned people are still languished or barred out basically in the corners of American society, their own society basically, or the society we created together, and finds themselves in exile, barred out in their own land. There you go. It's really not that difficult, but some of y'all gonna make it difficult. But all he's saying is, and if you don't believe me, just take your time, sit your dumb, narrow-minded butt down with a dictionary, and you read. Hate when people, I don't, shut up. I don't want to hear that. Bunch of ignorance and stupid. And you know what? I told myself I wasn't going to rant, but I'm going to rant because people are stupid and I have the right to rant. Don't be stupid. You know why Trump is president? Anybody got a question? It's not because of racist. It's not because of Obama didn't decide to sit in the third term. It's not because of the, well, it is kind of because of the elite, but it's because people are stupid. As long as you're stupid, they can do what they want to. Okay? So, to go through it real quick, 100 years later, the Negro is still languished in the corners of American society and finds himself in exile in his own land. So, when we say American society, we're referring to America, not Africa. And he says, and finds himself in exile. You can't be in exile unless you're indigenous. So he's saying that the Negro is an indigenous.
All we say to America is be true to what you said on paper. If I lived in China or even Russia or any totalitarian country, maybe I could understand some of these illegal injunctions. Maybe I could understand the denial of certain basic First Amendment privileges because they haven't committed themselves to that over there. But somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right. And so just as I say we aren't going to let any dogs or water hoses turn us around, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around. Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now because I've been to the mountaintop. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. The promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
So, thank you all for watching and listening in. This was The Great Fez YouTube channel. I'm just kidding. Thank you and take care. Hopefully you were entertained and enlightened. Peace.
Peace. Everyone, thank you for watching and listening. Appreciate you all. I'd like to get a round of applause and thank yous, if you may, to Martin Luther King, because he could have did the Farrakhan and not told us anything and continued doing the things he was doing. So I appreciate what he did. So thank you, Martin Luther King. May you rest in peace. So this is the end of the first video. This is more of a soft ending. There are more to come. So if you like the video, what I need you to do is to right there push that like button. If you didn't like it, there's one right next to it. You can push that too. Comments and everything. Let me have it. Any questions or anything right there. Peace.